Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mistful Musings with Morgana. So happy to have you. Welcome in. Today is January 15th, 2026, and we are going to be channeling your daily messages. Okay, let's jump in and get started. So I sat and channeled for a little bit before the reading, as I normally do with my in-client sessions as well as my personal readings. And I got an image for you today. So I channeled a woman with dark hair. She was wearing a blue dress, not a bright blue, not very dark blue, kind of like a mid, kind of moody, smoky blue. And she was standing in front of a doorway. As her hand went on the knob, she opened the doorway, and before her were two different scenes. One was unknown vibrations. There were dark colors. I couldn't make out any shapes. It just felt very dark, almost like you were, it was like, nighttime, almost as if you were looking at like large dark boulders or something like that. So it was an unknown land. On her right side, there was a beautiful sunlit pasture. Butterflies, you could feel the sun on your skin. There was, those sun rays that were coming through the vision. Just really like light, bright, airy. So for me, how I see this is there is a part of your divine feminine, and we'll call that, right? The blue may represent your throat chakra, so it may be resonating with how you speak your truth, how you emote, how you communicate in the world, whether it's through the verbal space or the written space. But how do you, again, like these are our themes lately, like how do you show up for the world? How do you show up in the world? And how do you speak your truth? And are you safe to express yourself, in a truthful way? So you're walking through some kind of portal. You're going through some kind of threshold. You're moving through some kind of space in between right now. And on the other side of that threshold, you have choices. You have something that feels a little bit heavy, unknown. It may be more difficult to traverse, but it didn't feel like dangerous. It just felt unknown. And the other side felt very light and airy. Very joyful, very expansive in a way, right? So you definitely have two choices in front of you, but you need to navigate with your truth, with your intuition, and making sure that it aligns with how you show up in the world. So the first card we pulled is very representative of the energy that I'm channeling here. So we get number 2. And this is Miss of Avalon deck. We get number 2. And I will show it to you here. And what this is, I love this. There's so much symbolism in here. So the number 2 generally represents two things. It represents choices, right? Just like we saw when we crossed that threshold, we have a choice. And also, 2s can also represent union. So it can represent coming together with pieces of yourself, right? Or possibly healing that divine feminine space and walking through a threshold and birthing yourself in a new, more empowered way. But it definitely represents some kind of choice, right? Or blending of energies. And on the card here, before we jump into it, just intuitive meaning of the card here, we get, there's a picture of the Tor in England, which is a sacred Avalonian space. The Tor, underneath that hill, it's the entrance to the other world. And the other world goes beyond just our human physical reality, right? There's so much in the other world or the underworld. This is a space where we can examine our shadows, cycles, behaviors, patterns, loops, attachments, addictions, ancestral lineage, like all of the things, right? This is a chance to really look into this and see how it affects our ability to move through thresholds, and it affects the choices that we make. Even that video that I posted a little while ago, the pause, the power in the pause, maybe take a spin back to that because that gives you some tools on how to move through these spaces of, when you find yourself in a liminal space or the void, or like I said, the pregnant pause, right? Or the underworld or the other world. It teaches you how to navigate that space a little bit. So go check out that video. Also, we see here, there is a labyrinth, a lot of spiraling circles, and that just represents to me that we're always spiraling in life, right? There is no destination. It is about the journey. And we approach different things with more wisdom pieces, right? With more wise eyes, with more awake eyes. Also, the phrase comes to mind, I say it all the time in my office with my clients, like the only way out is through. And so here we are venturing down deep into the other world, the underworld, right? Checking into, pieces of ourselves and recognizing how we can shift and transform those in order to either come back into union with ourselves or walk through thresholds, putting us in different spaces and places. We also see a rabbit on the card. Rabbits are significant for, birthing anew. So maybe springtime, they mean abundance, they mean fertility. So let's check into it. Number 2, the Tor card. It equals or represents the truth, clarity, connection, and source. Spiritual seeker, enter the great hill, the pinnacle portal to Avalon. You are on a quest for greater self-understanding and spiritual enlightenment. Remain focused and aligned with your spiritual growth and your intention. You are now ready to raise your vibration. And by raising our vibration, we're not talking about like climbing some kind of ladder. No, it's going deeper within yourself, understanding yourself at a more complex level. Reconnect with your deepest self. There is wonder and magic within your reach. All you need to do is have faith. And I want to say trust, right? And the mantra for this card is, I am connected to spirit. So this is a time to get all quiet, get all sacred with yourself, because you're going on a quest, you're going on a journey. And like, we've literally been talking about this like the past 2 weeks. Okay, that starts our energy. Second card we get here is from the Ancient Stone Oracle deck. We get the Wisdom Keepers. I love it. There's illumination above that stone's head, bringing some kind of epiphany or illuminated moment, right? And it says a new perspective, study and learning. So as we're moving through this otherworld or underworld space, as we're going deeper within ourselves, we have the opportunity to learn different things, right? Take an outsider point of view, take an outside perspective, and really examine all of the pieces of yourself or all of the pieces of the situation, right? Instead of just a very focused lens, allow yourself to think outside the box and study and learn about it. You know, sometimes we have to disarm our automatic reactions, our reactivity, in order to shift and change. So this card is telling you, you know what? In order for you to gain some illumination, step back, take a different perspective, and study yourself, right? That will help you cross this threshold space. All right, so let's jump into tarot to clarify. Also, when I was pre-shuffling, the Magician popped out. One of my favorite cards of the deck. But the Magician popped out here, and Magician is major arcana, signifying major life event. He's got the beautiful infinity over his head, right? Again, everything moves in cycles, everything comes back around, and he is the master of his own destiny, right? He is the alchemizer. He can get it done. He's the transformer. So you are being powerfully led right now at this time. He's got all the tools in his tool belt. He is ready to go, but he's got to do the work, right? He has to transform. He has to alchemize, aka you have to transform. You have to do the work. You have to integrate the shadows and the deepest parts of yourself in order to cross that threshold. So you can do it. You are the alchemizer. You are the magician. Let's get some more cards. See what pops out to clarify. Again, if you are new here to our channel, please make sure to pop a comment, say hello. I like to interact with everybody. All right. We're going to take this one too. All right. You know what? We'll do one more. And I like to interact with everybody. Okay. We're going to just take top card here. And it helps our channel grow. So what do we get here first? All right, so first we get the 5 of Wands in reverse. All right, Five of Wands in reverse. 5 is a number of, chaos and conflict in order, chaos, conflict, and challenge in order to change. It's time to shift. It's time to transform. We've been talking about this. In the upright, you see all these people fighting. Oh my goodness. They're spending so much energy fighting each other. It is, that's a lot, right? It's a heavy energy card. So here we may be asked to either stand up for ourselves, which is very important, right? Setting boundaries, speaking our truth, doing all the things. And in the reverse position here, maybe we're not doing that. Maybe we are not speaking our truth. Maybe we're not standing up for ourselves, or maybe we're choosing to walk away. Ding, ding. That's what it is. We are choosing to walk away. We are not going to stay and fight anymore. It's a waste of our space. It's a waste of our energy. It's a waste of our time. Let's see it for what it is. Not everything needs to resonate with you. Maybe you just need to walk away. So this may be a good card for you today. Next card we have is, again, another major arcana. There's some big cards here. It is the World card, okay? So the last card in the deck, something's finished, done, complete. You have completed the lesson. You are ready to move through the threshold, right? This portal. You are ready to move through the threshold powerfully. You have everything you need to do that. You just need to make the choice. You just need to speak it. You need to be clear about your intention moving forward. So something is dead, done, and over with. You've completed, the healer's journey. You've completed the traveler's journey. And now it's time to move on to the next space. As we've been seeing, there's so many different pathways open for you right now. So just recognize it for what it is. Sometimes it's a bittersweet moment, but recognize it for what it is and move on. Next, of course, we have the 5 of Cups. Again, a number 5, chaos, conflict, confusion sometimes in order for change. And here we see this man draped in, a dark cloak. So yes, he is protected, but the cloak means that he is mourning. He's in mourning. He's sad, right? So as we move through the world, right, as we move through that portal into the next space, we may have some sadness. And maybe you're stuck because you are more focused on the cups that have spilled over instead of what you've got like right in front of you still. There's still 2, as we saw, the number 2, there's still opportunities to bring something into union, bring something back together here, make a choice and walk in a new way. Now, what this traveler is focusing on is, crying over spilled milk, that kind of thing, right? Instead, he could choose, turn around, pick up those cups, walk over that little bridge, using his intuition via, represented by the water here, and move to a new land. So take a minute to grieve, take a minute to emote, right? But don't get stuck there. Keep it moving. And the last card we get here, again, another major arcana card, is the High Priestess. Yes, and this is you know what to do. You are a very intuitive person. Follow your intuition, follow your truth. Don't second guess it. Conquer that fear and do the darn thing. All right, perfecto. We're going to finish it with the Divine Angel Oracle deck. Okay, and we get balance, literally. And you know what the number is? 2, 2, 2. Just like we saw the 2 here. Balance, union, choices, right? But this is bringing balance. Hey, come back into balance with yourself. So maintain harmony and balance in your life to manifest your desires. What is out of balance? Maybe this is the opportunity to go within and reflect on what's happening inside. And perhaps it's about balancing that shadow, deeper, otherworld element within with your intentions moving forward. And so where do they need to be balanced out? Where can you reclaim power through creation, through perspective, through study, but not get stuck in that kind of otherworld space, right? Or that space where we're taking up so much energy fighting ourselves or fighting other people or being so defensive. No, it's time to move through the threshold, leave what's not resonating, right? And it's time to birth anew, but definitely use your intuition in order to seek a more balanced space. And remember, you are the mother effing magician. So you can do it. You're the alchemizer. All right. This is your reading, and I'm wishing you lots of love and blessings. Take care.